Skyrim is lightning in a bolt. Hole. Yeah, sorry about that. You know, just forget I made that joke. It's a bad joke. If you even got the joke. Anyways, don't let that terrible pun deceive you. This video will not just be jokes and memes. I mean, there will be some of that, but first and foremost, this video is meant to praise Skyrim.
Talos the mighty, Talos the unerring, Talos the unassailable. To you we give praise.
It truly is a masterpiece of a video game, and the great thing about art is that it not only has meaning given to it by its creator, but it's also given meaning by the viewers. Many works of art, if crafted with enough care and detail, can grow to have more meaning than the creator ever intended. Thus, the work of art grows to be greater than the sum of its parts. It becomes larger than any one person could ever create on their own. The art becomes independent of its creator and takes on a life of its own as it becomes an amalgamation of different people's interpretations. Now, cue any English class where the teacher forces his students to write an essay on the meaning of a boring old book. Meanwhile, the author of the book is sitting there reading the essays about his book and saying, that's a good idea. I never thought of that. And a good example of that is how I've heard that many people believe Ray Bradbury's novel Fahrenheit 451 is about Big Brother and government censorship. Yet, Bradbury himself has said many times that it's not at all about that, but instead about how he feared television would become a drug that people would willingly become addicted to, preventing them from having a genuine human experience because they're so focused on constantly watching TV rather than living fulfilling life. So, all of this is to say that regardless of what the intent of Skyrim's creators was, the game itself has had a much larger impact on gaming culture than they could have ever predicted. Since the world is so detailed and immersive, it allows for a wide variety of people to play it and get wildly different experiences from it. Everyone in the world has their own unique perspective and preferences due to having different life experiences, so everyone can bring a fresh eye to this game and enjoy aspects of the game that others don't. Just look at how many thousands of videos people have been able to make about this game, all appreciating and displaying it in a plethora of different ways. People talk about gaming tips.
Levels will allow 5 instances of training in any skill, but each time you train has an increasing cost of gold, which dramatically increases by about 3 times after 51 skill is reached. Each of the main factions you can join do have skill trainers related to that archetype, so it's a good idea to join those factions as early as possible so you can benefit as much as you can for the character you're playing.
Gaming exploits.
It's so stupid. We're resurrecting a giant to fight for us at like level 3. Oh my god, we've just got 2 mammoths on our side now. Nope, that's all of them. That is all of them. Oh, we've done it. We've just cleared out the giant camp using only a bunch of crappy level 10 bandits or something.
Lore.
A bunch of Winterhold members speculated that the eruption of the Red Mountain in Morrowind was the cause of this collapse. However, this eruption happened in the 1st century of the 4th era in the Elder Scrolls timeline, while the Great Collapse happened 117 years later in the 2nd century of the 4th era.
And physics.
As a reference, plus a few other fun tricks up my sleeve, we can determine that a mortal human is flung upward at a peak speed of 76 meters per second to a terrifyingly precarious height of 215 meters in just over 5.5 seconds. And that, my dear lovelies, presuming the average person weighs 75 kilograms, gets us a nice, cozy figure of 221,130 joules.
They make music covers. And mashups. And parodies.
How gamers is their food. Watch closely.
And videos just showcasing parts of the landscape they found interesting. And they do
Let's see where
playthroughs.
this goes.
If we went with the Nord guy, we could have heard the classic line, "There's a bear over there."
There's the bear over there. And then I, for some reason, would make fun of that so much.
Because it rhymes and it's funny the way it's
Yeah, it's like, because the fake Nordic accent.
Yeah.
The really bad Nordic
Yeah,
accent.
it's a really bad.
It's not even...
Oh, God. Ooh,
There's the bear.
Alto wine. Isn't Alto wine the... Oh, there's the bear over there.
Yeah, I knew this part.
It's the most famous part of the game.
All right.
Ooh, the menacing bear over
So
there.
he says you can try to sneak by him or try to attack him. I'm going to save and try to attack it.
Oh!
And of course, they make and display their own mods.
You can encounter scarcely scattered throughout Skyrim, which provide a unique and memorable altercation when ran into in the wilds. And in a similar land-dwelling vein, we also have pygmy hill trolls.
There's so many ways that people express their love for this game. Even making mods to improve it is still out of passion since they enjoy the world and story, but simply want to fix mistakes and make it even better. The way you truly know that a game is not liked is when people don't even care about fixing it, but instead are simply indifferent. If people don't like a game, it will simply lose its player base until it dies a slow, lonely death. But not Skyrim! 10 years later, and it's still nearly as popular as it was back when it first debuted. There have been so many editions of this game, and why? Because it keeps selling. There has been Skyrim for PC, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo Switch, Skyrim Special Edition for PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Skyrim VR for PlayStation VR and PC VR, Skyrim Very Special Edition for Amazon's Alexa. By the Nine Divines, it just keeps going! This is all just in 10 years, mind you. Some games don't even get any re-releases for several decades after they've been out. Oh yeah, and let's not forget that there's now a Skyrim Anniversary Edition coming out for PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and Series S, and PlayStation 5. That makes a total of 16 different versions of this game in 10 years. That's more than one per year, and that's incredible. The amount of love the fans have given this game over the years is astounding, and there's no sign of that wavering. Skyrim has a little bit of everything for players to do, so anyone can play and find something to entertain themselves with. Want to be a hero and save the world from fierce dragons? Skyrim's got you. Want to get married and retire in a quaint Whiterun cottage? You can do that. Well, except marry Serana. Well, maybe they'll fix that glitch in the Anniversary Edition. Anyway, want to aggro an entire village by killing one chicken and then slaughter every last man, woman, and child in the village and then decide to go on a full murder hobo rampage since this save is ruined anyways and then slaughter as many people in the game as you can before finally getting taken down by a bunch of guards in Riften? Well, that's a choice you can make. Want to become a member of the Thieves Guild and go on an epic heist? Go ahead. Want to speedrun the game to become a master chef?
Bucket, knife, book, inkpot, stone. No, no.
Well, that's a thing. Want to just explore and take in the scenery as if you actually live in this world? Heck yeah. And of course, the game can intentionally entertain you, but there are obviously many fun aspects to the game that were unintentional. And by that, I mean that this game is an endless wellspring of memes. Glitches, mods, funny dialogue, anything is fair game in making Skyrim memes. Now here's just a sample of what the internet has to offer.
You shouldn't leave weapons laying around. Someone could get hurt if I made myself clear. See that it doesn't happen again. Get me out of here.
If you're smart, you'll walk away. I'm going to find whoever did this.
Looks like that's it. Got to go.
You don't stand a chance. Hey, you. You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right?
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Or we are one.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
Sigrid, we have company. What? A dragon? We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever soldiers he can. Merry Christmas!
Alright. Why is, controls?
Spawning trolls.
No!
I deserve that one. Could you spell C-H-E-E-S-E?
Spawning cheese.
What? The Ragan Jasmine?
Spawning dragons.
No! I said Ragan! Oh, come on, that's not fair. Okay, I might actually be okay though, because I think the dragons might fly out of... might fly out of Helgen Keep, and then I... Or I'll fly out of Helgen Keep. I like that the music... Okay. Yep, no, this is I remember the Skyrim intro.
All right. Hand over your valuables, or I'll gut you like a fish.
What? I'd rather die!
Never should have
You fucker! No!
If you do, grab him and... Hello.
Yeah, what possess, Skyrim? Yeah, oh yeah, pick 'em up. Pick 'em up with your wheels, yeah. What have I done? You can't hit what you can't see, Rudolph, you red-nosed piece of shit. Get the fuck. I summon my trusty steed, Tommy Wiseau. Ride time. Skyrim awaits. And there's adventure around every corner. Oh god, a surprise werewolf pit. I should have expected this. There's only one way to defeat werewolves. Get in there, bear. Fight them. Now you got battle. You gotta start wrapping this one up before my wife gets home, guys.
Oh. You see what's going on with the spiders? You're getting sniped, boy. Yeah. You gotta go run for your life. No, I wanna go down my waterfall. You're gonna go down the Whiterun waterfall. Oh yeah. Cube pie? Like the mayonnaise? Oh. What the hell, man? Just get it away. Get off. I'm gonna die. Oh no. They're little, you know, they're skeleton boys. Oh god. I don't want it. Yeah. Charis Hunter? Yeah, they're disgusting. Yeah, what the yeah, that's... Oh, you haven't seen the full power of horse cars in this game yet. Yeah. You've only seen the beginning. Your perfectly legally purchased Cadillac is running away from you. Yeah. It did not like your dwarven automobile. This is a problem. I wonder when this person was... Okay. Okay, Chief. Thanks. Alright. And so the adventure begins. Let's go to... I'm feeling...
Now, besides having a good old giggle, why have I shown you all these memes? Because these memes are only able to exist because of Skyrim being created in the first place. So regardless of whether or not viewers of these memes have even played the game, or even care about the Elder Scrolls series at all, these memes are able to bring happiness to random people in the world. And of course, the developers of this game could never have guessed what players would find funny and make memes out of. So this game has taken on a life of its own and has provided so many people entertainment in so many different ways. And this is what makes Skyrim such an amazing and special game. Anyone can find something to enjoy. It's provided so many people with completely different forms of entertainment. Everyone has a slightly different reason as to why they like the game so much, and each reason is valid. Some people strictly enjoy it because of the story itself, some for the experience of simply traversing this world, some because they just like to goof around and just play with stupid mods, some for the memes. And regardless of the reason, the important question is whether someone was given happiness because of this game. And the answer to that is a resounding yes. This game has accomplished what so many games fail to do, which is to have a lasting impact on the world and truly have a widespread influence on people's lives. And I would be remiss to mention that I have also been greatly affected by Skyrim. It was one of my favorite games growing up, and this expansive fantasy setting helped spark my imagination and inspire me to come up with my own fantasy stories. And I would love to take a second to recount some of my favorite moments while playing this game that solidified this game as one of my favorites. So, one of my most memorable experiences was when I was traveling along the road that leads from Whiterun to the Whiterun Western Watchtower. Oh my gosh, that's a tongue twister. Anyways, at that point, I had traveled this road countless of times, doing different quests, but this time was different. Instead of seeing nothing but fields, or occasionally being attacked by a wolf, this time I see something completely new that I'd never seen again. Walking down the road toward me is a giant herding a singular cow. Now, I had seen giants many times before and knew that they were always extremely aggressive, but this time was different. I just stood there in the road as he passed right by me with his cow, not caring at all that I was right there. And it made me happy to see that not all giants were mean. Here was this guy who just wanted to travel around with his pet cow. Where was he going? What was he going to do with the cow? I'll never know, and I love that I'll never know. What made this encounter so amazing for me was that it made the world seem much larger and complex than it did before. It made me feel like I'm just a small, single part of an immersive, living, breathing world. It's the little things like that the developers didn't need to add in, but did, that made all the difference for me. This encounter wasn't a big plot point, or even a plot point at all, but just a random event that made my adventure feel more unique and personal. Now, one other experience I had in Skyrim that elicited the same feeling of immersion was the first time that I took the journey from Whiterun to Windhelm. I was traveling by myself, and I left Whiterun later in the day. I started walking north into the Pale, and it coincidentally became nightfall right as I started getting into the really snowy forested area. Then, as I'm walking along the trail, I suddenly get attacked by a frost wraith out of nowhere. And I'd never seen one before, and I never saw one again for a very long time. So this event was stuck in my head for a while because I was curious as to what even happened. After I defeated it, I became acutely aware that the wilderness is more dangerous than I thought. I then debated with myself for a while whether I should go back into Whiterun and wait until morning, or if I should trudge forward through the dark woods. I decide that I'll keep going, hoping to find refuge along the way, or just to get to Windhelm quickly. And by sheer luck, I come across the Nightgate Inn, where I stay the night. I sit for a while listening to a bard play some beautiful Jeremy Soule tunes, and then I go to bed. The next morning, before I continue on my journey, I sit by the frosty lake next to the inn, admiring the glistening water surrounded by snowy mountain peaks. I felt like I could almost feel the cold morning air hitting my face, and I felt so at peace. And then I got up and kept traveling. But instead of continuing on the path I was on the previous night, I decided to follow a new path, feeling an urge to do some exploring. Lo and behold, after not too far of a trek, I find myself standing at the golden gates of Erkenthand. Dwemer names are weird. Anyways, at this point, I was flabbergasted, since this was the first time I'd ever seen a Dwemer ruin, and I thought it was the most beautiful thing. I was amazed by the shiny golden architecture and very curious as to what this even was, and why it seemed to be abandoned. Of course, after traveling inside of it only a little bit, I came across some bandits and discovered this place was a little too dangerous for me to explore at this level. But I made a note of where it was on my map and vowed to come back later when I could handle it. But boy, did that make my day. I thought those ruins were so cool, and for just a moment, I felt like I was actually living in this world and had discovered something that no one else had seen for hundreds or even thousands of years. By the time I got to Windhelm, I was excited to be continuing on my quest, but the quest paled in comparison to the journey I had experienced on my way there. The experience felt so personal, and I was glad that I was able to experience such a beautiful journey. Even if it wasn't really real, it felt real in my mind. The experience was genuinely exciting, and I will always remember it. Now, I don't have Skyrim in VR, but I'm sure these experiences would have been that much more immersive if they were in VR, so hopefully someday I can get Skyrim VR so that it feels even more like I'm actually in the world. But even without VR, I was completely encapsulated. And that's the magic of a video game made right. Like a movie or a play, it transports you into another world. But video games have the added benefit of making it feel more personal since you're in control of the action. It provides another layer of idiosyncrasy that makes this type of work of art so amazing. And Skyrim really is that, a work of art, a masterpiece. Now, not everyone will think that, but at least I do, and many others. Skyrim has provided me with hours of fun, and I am extremely thankful for that. Skyrim truly is a treasure trove of wonderful surprises, and it has gone above and beyond the average video game, and for that, I think it should be commended. So, congrats, Skyrim, on a successful 10 years of providing entertainment to a generation of gamers, and here's to many more. And, by the way, I'm supposed to be doing like a cheer with my glass, but you can't really do that animation, so I'm drinking mead, and just pretend I'm doing a cheer. Yeah.
Need a room? Or maybe just some mead?
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
I'm sure they would love to trade in your husband's steel.
What do you think you're doing?
Please, someone do something.
Give up, Wally. You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense? Oh, forgive me, Thane. I didn't realize it was you. We'll look the other way this time. But even the Jarl's influence has its limit.
What happened?
Be more careful.
What's that?
What's
Those wolves over there?
Wolfies. Something big it looked like. A loaded man's grotto. Ooh. That was a fall.
I saw something running this way.
Could have been like a million things.
No, it was only two.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, there's a million different things that those two things could be.
They can only be one thing at a time.
Why? We don't know what they are yet, so shut up. It looked like a bison.
Huh?
It's giants. Two giants.
They flung it into the air, whatever it was.
Yeah, the two giants killed something. That's probably what it was.
Darn it, it was probably more wolves.
Yeah, when they kill things, they fling them sometimes.
Oh, is there mammoths?
Mammoths.
Something!
Mammoths.
There it is!
Let's figure the hell out.